Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Part 10. In the previous video we started the second day of the trial where we exposed that the man in the steel samurai costume was actually Jack Hammer, and we've got to do another round of investigations in order to figure out what really happened. Cody Atkins' testimony has revealed new possibilities in this case. In fact, things may have happened very differently than we previously thought. The steel samurai seen by Miss Oldbag may have been the victim, Jack Hammer. The scene of the crime was not Studio 1 but Studio 2, and those in the trailer did have time to commit murder. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Your homework is to find the answer to the following question. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the steel samurai costume? Also, who killed him, and why? Well, steal is such a strong word. Like, in this community, we prefer to use the term borrow? Find the answers for me by tomorrow. That's a lot of homework. Mr. Edgeworth? You will need to reconsider your stance in this case. Above all, you will need to reconsider your suspicion of Mr. Will Powers and also complete this calculus problem. As you say, Your Honor. Trial will be extended until tomorrow. This is the last extension. Otherwise, I'll execute all of you. Very well. Court is adjourned. Whew! That was a close one. We were saved by a hair, but that's all that counts. I thought serious about going home with 3 times during the trial. Me too. Really? You both seem so confident. Maybe I should take up a career in acting. Don't quit your day job, Phoenix. I was ready to pronounce you dead about 3 times back there. Me too. Dead? Of course we're kidding. Totally not kidding, by the way. Are you sure? I wasn't kidding. Now, Mr. Powers, we have to go make our final investigation, but I promise you, we'll find the true killer by tomorrow's trial. Right, thanks. To be continued. Alright, that's the end of the video. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part, and bye, guys. I suppose we can keep going for a little bit. I mean, gosh, even though we are already 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. It's like the old days of YouTube, way back in the day when you could only upload videos that were 10 minutes and 59 seconds long. You're like constantly looking at the clock like, oh god, when do I need to stop? When do I need to stop? That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad, I'm sorry, I missed it. Maya? So, what happened? Well, I think I got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive, and proof, and a suspect. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed up the whole process. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of bullshit. Well, we've no time to waste. How's it going? I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the steel samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear the producers and the director were both in the trailer. Huh. Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where the trailer is. What? Was Maya always as excitable? Yes. Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Mia is here. So, no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP? WP, Powers, right. You ever seen a real-life Samurai Scrapbook? What do you think about this? It's that fanboy's prized possession. Wow, impressive. It's a little different from the Steel Samurai on TV. These are mostly taken at PR shows they do at stores and fairs. I'm pretty sure it's not even Will Powers inside that suit. No true fan would be satisfied with anything less than the real thing. He's still a child, I suppose. I guess it takes an adult to appreciate the real deal, right, Nick? Right? I'm an adult, please tell me, validate me. Yeah, whatever you say. How about an attorney's badge? Sorry, I don't know how this help us out. This is Cody's... Hey, a digital camera! I'm impressed a kid like him would have something this expensive. Kids these days. I don't imagine spirit mediums in training get a lot of toys. Okay, to the detention center. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Why is your voice changed? Shut up! Oh, thanks. Could you look like you're about to burst in... Or could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only one day left until your execution. I mean, acquittal. Yeah, that's it. Let's make it count. Yeah. There's not really anything I can do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. What's up? Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. But, didn't Global Studios have like a sudden downturn over the last decade? She can't be that good. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we have had nothing but hits. Oh, okay. Oh, so it was about to collapse and then she came in. Okay. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyway. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Well, he likes his food undercooked, you see. He used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Sal Manila. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. Phoenix, are you making fun of his weight? I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yeah, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could you do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. No reason whatsoever. Nothing suspicious or shady. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago, eh? Have you ever seen a real-life attorney's badge? Thank you for showing me. Have you seen this, Mr. Powers? What's that? I've never seen these Steel Samurais in my life. These are the Steel Samurais that appear at live shows. A fanboy collected all these pictures himself. Seeing things like this really makes me think. I mean so much of these kids, you know? Okay. To the studio! Staring contest. The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think our guard's down. Yeah, probably just a stroke. Let's exploit it. I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station, if we wanted. You eat, you die. Woo, she's alive! I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. You eat, you die. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her, so she always gets her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about the Sal Manella, the director? Sal, he's soft, a pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? Youthful innocence. That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No. No, it doesn't, Maya. About Mr. Hammer. Arr! I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you drag a star down from the sky and stomp on it, calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh, she's really pissed. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Mr. Power's costume just so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. Okay, just so he could sneak by her? Like, I don't know. I still feel like it's something to do with, like, he wanted them to think he was Powers. And I think maybe that's just, like, a secondary benefit of being able to get by without being interrupted by a lady. I don't know. Let's keep moving. Let's go back to, I guess Studio 2. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. Hey, Nick. It's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello? Oh. Maya, you should at least try and be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Excuse me? Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shush. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. Not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh, dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it! Nick, she did it! She's the killer! My Fae blood speaks to me. I know it! I know it! Oh, dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manella? If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer by yourselves. Oh dear. You ever seen a real life Samurai Scrapbook? Not even looking. Okay, hey, you look. What? Why are you showing that to me, Nick? Somebody's got to see my attorney's badge. You ever seen a van before? A light van for moving staff and equipment around. They've kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it'd run fine. Well, let's go for a drive. Sure, if I had a license. Anything in the incinerator? Anything in the very suspicious flower bed? There's some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. But, I mean, those, like, obviously aren't flowers. Okay. Anything in the trailer? Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny, it still seems pretty messy in here. I guess she was still on a high from getting that rare card she needed. This is where they had that meeting, their documents and paper. Anything in the trash can? Nothing in here, just some paper cups. Spending a lot of money. That's just the frosted glass. I'm guessing all this is the same. Oh my god, that movie was the best! It's about a samurai who sings his way to fame and fortune. Mr. Hammer was a very accomplished singer, you know. Singing samurai stars? What's next? Ninja ballet? Samurai Summer starring Jack Hammer. This post is quite old. Wow, it's been years since I saw that show. It was one of those typical summer romance stories, but it was great. A typical summer romance with a samurai on a horse? An old movie poster. Dynamite Samurai starring Jack Hammer. I guess Mr. Hammer used to be quite the star. Okie dokie. Well, I guess we could try and go to... Actually, I guess we can't go to Studio 1 anymore, right? Yeah. I guess we can go to the employee area? I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming just one time. Trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess... This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Also, if you gave him an entire bottle of sleeping pills, wouldn't you, like, die? Yeah! No, 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 no touching! Ah! Oh, sorry, pal. I didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack. Guess I can be a little dramatique at times. Suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking at it for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. Also, I wanted to lick the steak that Jack Hammer ate. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills? How? For a thorough examination, gotta take the plate back to the precinct, but I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to the sleeping pill, see? If there are traces of it, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, testing solutions of the plate changed color, alright. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills? Looks like it. So, how goes your investigation, partner? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we could switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Shit, I don't know. Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not really a detective. I lied on my exam and my entrance interview, and they just kind of like keep letting me go to cases? It's really weird. I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed his paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow. The fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Wow, so strong. Oh, I'm Edgeworth. I'm a big tough guy. Cups. Bottles? Say, whatever happened with that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means... Yep, it sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Okie dokie. You ever seen a real life steak plate? It's looking like Will Powers was drugged. I'm gonna go back to the precinct and do some more detailed tests. You're being very free with your information today, Detective. Well, don't go telling anyone this, pal, but I was kind of impressed with today's trial, too. Made me want to propose right there on the spot. Most lawyers would have given up after that director's testimony. I think if it had been anyone but you up there, Powers would have been done for by now. You ever seen a Samurai Scrapbook? I'm guessing I know as much about that as you do, pal, i.e. nothing. Detective, about that bottle. I didn't piss in it. I don't know why you're even accusing me of pissing in it. You will not find one iota of urea in that thing. I gotta go. Talk about embarrassing, pal. I can't believe I missed out on my first sleep of evidence. I don't know how I can apologize to Mr. Edgeworth. Must be tough being a detective with all the responsibility. Yeah, I mean, I kind of decide who lives and who dies, but I don't really lose too much sleep over it. Anything else worth examining? Anything in the trash can? Cola, candy. Okay, that's all the same. Anybody in here? Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yeah, and I'm really tall and handsome and an Adonis-like figure. I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of the Steel Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yeah? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh, I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, has some kind of hold on Hammer. He has some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. To this day, you can still hear ghostly moans at night. Film set? Was that trailer part of the film set, then? What do you mean, The Last Steel Samurai? I know, it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. Oh, no! Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kid shows anymore. They're going to make real, gritty, reality TV garbage. What? Yeah, it's going to be like this TV show where these people meet and they've never met, but they've got 90 days to decide if they want to get married or not. People are going to love it, even though it's trash. And everyone knows it's trash, but they just can't stop gobbling it up. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. They'll even start a whole streaming service based entirely on that concept. Why aren't they going to make kid shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it to quiet, you know? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love Steel Samurai? I mean, they'll just pick on to whatever the newest fad is. I mean, come on, kids are fickle. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. What? Oh, the Samurai Scrapbook. And this is... A fan collected all these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show couldn't be canceled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me more about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer? And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what happened to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studio back then, you know, 100 years ago. Thanks, we'll try asking her. If she'll talk. You ever seen a real life... steak plate? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what to make of that. Oh, it's a steak plate. Plate for steak. Plate for steak. Oh, sorry, I haven't cleaned up there yet. You ever looked in here? It's Powers' bag. I put up all WP's personal belongings in there. You gotta come pick him up, right? Yeah, he'll come. Also, do you really need to abbreviate Powers? Like, Powers is like the same number of syllables as a WP. You're not saving any time, lady. I guess it helps the script. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, leave. Hello, lady. What, you still slinking around? You like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? Old windbag doesn't look so good. Everyone's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think that made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer! It's all due to Hammer. Are you starting to froth at the mouth, Nick? Maybe we should, keep a safe distance. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nicholas? Nichols? Nick. Penny Nichols. That's the assistant we talked to. Penny Nichols. And her brother, Dime Quarterly. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during the filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers, stretching up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun? No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume? You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole the costume? I have proof. Sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume with this Samurai Scrapbook. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? And is that urine on the side? It's a bottle of sleeping pills with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? Huh, I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that they use those pills on Powers? Haha, take that! What's that supposed to prove? That means nothing to me. Nick, I'm kind of having trouble figuring that one out too. Wrong evidence? What do you mean it's wrong evidence? Did I click the wrong thing? What? How is it not the steak plate? Did I click? Maybe I clicked camera by accident. Okay. What does that prove? I'm sure I had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? Is it not the steak plate? I feel like it's the steak plate. Ate a T-bone. Oh, I must have just clicked the wrong thing. Well, yeah, so? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the steak. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer, rest your soul. Miss Olbach? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Olbach? You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. He has ties to the Mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. See. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag? Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. Photograph? Oh. Wait. I mean, that's... Oh, was that person maybe die a long time ago and they never clean... Yeah, because I guess if they never used the studio, then they would have never... Like, there would have been no reason to come and clean it up, maybe? Because, I mean, that's Hammer up there. Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer is supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of those stairs there. Like, what was he doing with a tennis racket? Like, what type of show is this? A guy where like a dude, like a tennis star, battles bad guys? I mean, that seems kind of interesting. I'd watch that, maybe, probably not, but... He pushed the other actor and the man fell into the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Well... I guess we should go investigate Studio 2. Or at the very least we could show it to Lady. Okay, no, it's just... There's some flowers here. Have you ever seen a real-life 5-year-old poet photo? Not even looking. Where? What? Where'd you get that? Well, man's gotta keep his secrets. Old bag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right, anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer? Wind. The what? Gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind? Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. Alright, let's take a hydration break. Alrighty. Trailer. You came. Well then, what was it you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kid shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of his own accord. But... you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me? What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way! You mean Mr. Hammer did it? On purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Isn't she also his #1 fan? Well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She rinsed it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is a valuable piece of evidence! Boys! Hello? How's it going? Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? Trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should Dee Vasquez care about it at all? Sure, you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No! Psychic powers activate? Hold it right there! I heard everything, pal. I mean, isn't he just one more person to erase? Dee Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then, in court. I've been looking forward to it. I don't really think old Gumshoe could stop all 4 of them. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry, I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe? Thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just, I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. One more job. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? Dee Vasquez. Alrighty. I guess we'll do a little bit of the trial, and then we'll have to cut things off. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is omega super-duper ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Phoenix Wright did it 5 years ago. The truth doesn't matter. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Get it? Because his name is Edge, and he's on edge. He's got a whole worth of edge. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss Dee Vasquez to the stand. Miss Dee Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. No smoking in the courtroom? Will the witness state her name and occupation? Had a sneeze sneak up on me. Dee Vasquez, I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2? As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Objection! I entered the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. 12 sharp? I thought it was 1 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break at the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. Huh? There's a van at Studio 2. Take you where? I mean, I thought the whole thing was that path was blocked. Thought it'd be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. I mean, there was a lot of things that kind of stood out to me as a little fishy. But we'll go through it blow by blow. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, man, let's talk a little more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. Like, that's my job. The same could be said for you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please, stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, man. All you did was say the obvious, Edgeworth. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Well, your smoking irritates me, so... Yeah, Mr. Wright. Sorry. It was a 15-minute break. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean, like, someone else. One person is enough. She committed murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. Steak? If I had some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? Kinda wish she'd said a little more. Hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. Evidence she didn't eat the steak. But I mean, that's a different steak. So, I mean, I feel like that shouldn't be evidence. Nothing really jumps out at me. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. So there was a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I had Sal take me. But, like, I don't know if she's, like, backtracking here, because if she's saying that, like, they went there... Took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. I mean, the only thing I can think of is steak plate, but that doesn't make any sense, because it's a different steak plate. Block the path to the scene of the crime between 2:15 and 4 p.m. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. I mean, it could be something with, like... I don't know. I mean, they definitely mentioned the steak thing, but... This just doesn't make it... I mean, I'm gonna try... It's so... It shouldn't be that. To prove... I mean, let's press again, just to see what he says. Just to see if that'll spark anything. Okay, someone else, one person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proves she didn't eat that steak. Evidence she didn't eat the steak. I mean, I guess, like... I'm gonna try it just because it's like, it's gonna bug me if I don't. It doesn't make any sense. I have no clue how this could be right, but I'm gonna try it. Wait, but it was a different steak plate. It was the one from the employee area. You claim you ate a T-bone steak? Oh, okay. I think I get what they're going for. There were no bones on the plates in the Studio 2? Is that what they're saying? So they ate something different? What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. But I mean, like, it could just be that they like, threw away the stuff. But I guess they wouldn't have left the plates. But I mean, there was an incinerator, so you could have just, like, thrown the bones in that. That's kind of what I was assuming. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yeah, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare! Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too! You didn't eat steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Murder! Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. Say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was the murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yeah? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I mean, I don't know. I guess it could be the... maybe, like, the fence killed both of them? Like, maybe they did fix the fence and it was recently destroyed again? Can I look at the photo? Just, can we see what part he's impaled on? I can't remember if it was the second or third one that was, bent. Granted, the way he fell on it kind of straight, so I mean, I guess maybe it wouldn't have been bent. But yeah, we're gonna say you couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. You see? Yeah. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? Boombox time? Okay, not yet boombox time. Don't press the button, Maya. Not yet, not yet. Wait for a moment. What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Okay. No, wrong? Okay. What do you mean, wrong? You can't decide if it's wrong or not. I haven't said anything yet. I know you well enough by now to know when you're going to present the wrong evidence. We've only presented wrong evidence like twice. Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. And how about all the sensing? Right, okay, here's the real evidence, Your Honor. I was just testing you. The scrapbook, maybe? The scrapbook? How about the scrapbook? No, wrong. I haven't said anything yet. I mean, is it just the samurai spear? Right, okay, so, sorry, third time's the charm, Your Honor. It was just, we were just testing you. We're just testing you. Is it really not the 5-year-old photo? Like, I didn't pick the wrong evidence again, did I? I'd be really mad if I did. Because, I mean, I feel like that's the point. Like, you present this to show, like, how someone could be stabbed and impaled without. I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible For someone to stab a man who was wearing a thick costume with this through the chest. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what the weapon was used? I can tell you. I would make a claim... would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Now we go for the picture. Take that! Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of those stairs. Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended! Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an also, just trust me, bro. Like, my source on it being 5 years old, just trust me, bro. Don't actually ask any questions about that. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studio. What does that have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth? You still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him right through the chest? What are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again! Mr. Wright, continue! This shit is awesome! It's 2:30 on the day of the murder. Miss Dee Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer himself had done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Now you're getting it, Miley. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? It's just like rain on your wedding day. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of the argument that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1, the van, and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could you have dealt with the body? I bet she could move it. Or she had another way. I think that's what we want. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? Telekinetic mind powers, Your Honor. For instance. Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Well, let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. How about a little bit of, take that? No, that's wrong. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony? There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? He didn't necessarily have to know the body was in there? Of course he wasn't. Ha! So without Mr. Manila noticing anything, she put the body in the van, then managed to put the body into the costume? Well, are you seriously suggesting that is possible? Of course I'm not serious. I was kidding to, lighten up the proceedings. Light? Lighten? You can't lighten up a murder unless it was done with helium. That would be pretty sweet. Mr. Wright, the court requests you refrain from making claims in jest. Yes, Your Honor. Of course, Salmonella has had to have been a co-conspirator. The body had been placed in the van and put into the costume. I mean, I do like how sometimes you can be wrong and it doesn't, like, punish you. So you can kind of do some of the joke responses, which is totally what I was trying to do there. I was just trying to hear the funny responses for getting it wrong. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? Let's find out if Phoenix should continue or not in the next video. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.